Nocturne yung pinili nila
Available
para sa
Nocturne,
jungler. Pero I'm expecting another Nocturne to come out
Counter
here
pick, yeah.
for Mineski. Is one of the best junglers at the moment. Waiting still kung ano yung gustong iba to ng Mineski. Pero Swain might be their first selection here.
Yes.
Uncertain pa rin saan pupunta yung Swain, of course.
And there you go.
There
There's
you
a
go.
counter pick.
Priority ng Nocturne, mga kaibigan. And ito going back, hanapin mo rin yung weakness ng Mineski. Ang lakas ng Mineski, ang lakas ng Mineski. Pero, you know, kung hindi mo mahanap yung weakness sa kanila, hanapin mo kung saan sila parang merong call-off. Kasi may history pa rin na gano'n ng Mineski, di ba? Pwedeng kay Kaigu.
Yeah.
Di ba? Pwedeng i-camp mo yung top lane. Something like that.
Well, sa akin, suggestion ko, yun nga eh. If you're saying that you need to fight fire with fire, yes, your priority pick Galio in the first place para dito sa Arkangel. You have the Chen ult, you have the Galio ult, an answer for this Nocturne ultimate. Wala na tayong nakikitang Talia dito. So, may possibility nga wala tayong makitang ibang global presence. Pero speaking of rotation and global presence, Kled.
Feeling ko Kled mid to.
Kled mid talaga yan.
Kled mid to into the Galio pickup. And sobrang gandang matchup din considering that Galio needs to stay up close to the Kled. Kapag nakadikit yung Kled sa kanya using his violent tendencies passive. Walang magagawa tong Galio sa matchup na to.
Kasi yung grapple dito ni yung grapple kasi dito ni Kled, ay trap, bear trap on a rope ni Kled. Papasok talaga at papasok. I mean, in range. Ng Galio. So, kailangan talaga madodge ni Galio.
Tama ka dyan. At ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize dito, ready ang Mineski para sa combo na to. Ready sila sa Shen Galio pick. If ever man siguro makakuha din ng Shen Nocturne pick ang Arkangel, for sure may sagot din ang Mineski.
Alam mo yung magandang combo dito? Yung Nocturne mag-ult, so madidilim yung mapa, and then mag-ult din yung Kled.
Yan.
Hindi nila makikita saan manggagaling yung Kled. Maririnig lang nila, paparating na yung charge, pero di nila alam anong angulo papasok.
Grabe, parang tinanggalan ka ng mata. Ganun ang nangyari dito. At saka ang gusto ko pa, sakto, kung mid-Kled nga to, parang Chisto, napakabilis ng responde. Kapag yung Kled nasa mid, ilagay mo lang yung supercharge mo dun sa river, nasa bot lane ka na nang wala pang ilang segundo. Actually,
very critical ang mga teamfights dito. Paring Chisto, question lang. Kapag nag-ult yung Nocturne, siyempre hahanapin ni Shen kung kanino siya mag-ult, di ba? Can he cast the Stand United doon sa icon sa gilid?
Hindi ko alam yung interaction. Feeling ko hindi dapat pwede. Kasi hindi niya kita.
Hindi niya kita.
Kasi
so talagang disabled muna yung Stand United dito. Kailangan palipasin yung paranoia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nakong hirap.
Oh my.
Ang hirap. Nakabiti, pero ngayon talagang protection. Yun yung sigurado. Ang problema lang, kung dagdagan ng Mineski yung burst nila dito, someone that can ride the Kled charge kaagad, especially kapag yung window na yun na walang vision yung Archangel.
Ooh.
Ayun na nga.
Yan, iba-burst talaga rin. Atas ng damage din.
Meron tayong Zillion tsaka Shen sa bot lane.
Grabe ng protection. They also have the Xin Zhao. Now, the thing here is that Archangel must live through the night. Kailangan mabuhay talaga sila dun sa unang initiate. Kung walang mabawas sa kanila sa isang paranoia ng Nocturne, sa isang charge ng Kled, may laban din yung Archangel.
Exactly. But looking at the draft coming in from Arkangel, na-mention nga natin, Zillion gonna come into play right here. If you recall yesterday, ito ang isa sa naging constant ban sa Emperor Esports. So it looks like Arkangel this time around gonna pull off something that Mirmo was kind of known for nung run niya sa LoL Varsity League.
And you know, gusto ko yung di ba, nag-pick ng all-in. Eto, Mineski. The Zillion pick kind of shuts down the all-in considering na pwede niyang i-revive kung sino man yung initial target ng Mineski. And there's a lot of things that will reset fights on the side of Arkangel. You have the Galio ultimate, you have Stand United. Meron ding knockback yung Xin Zhao. So kapag nakita mo yung engage ng Mineski, merong paraan na i-counter yun itong Arkangel.
Well, looking at it, kung papansinin mo yung tatlong lineup, tatlong nasa taas dito ng Mineski, makakita ko ng first 10 minutes, unang level 6. Either Nocturne or Kled level 6, gera na kagad, sasakay ang Renekton dito kahit kanino eh. And of course, the bottom lane, kailangan lang ma-secure kasi yung Zillion pick reaction pick to eh. Of course, the all-in burst na gusto ng Mineski. React tayo sa Zillion. Again, the bottom lane matters dito for Arkangel para sa akin. Kailangan lamang sila sa bottom lane against the Gragas and the Swain. Or kapag hindi, siguro bibigay ko na yung predictions ko. Kapag hindi, may chance ang Mineski to.
Yeah, speaking of predictions, man, Jane, this is the moment right here. Casters, I need your quick fire predictions. Sino ang tingin nyo mananalo dito sa game 2?
I still feel napaka-reactive ng draft dito ng Arkangel. They have to play the bait game effectively against Mineski. Pero ngayon, so far, knowing League of Legends, knowing the playstyle of Mineski, kapasidad din ng mga players na to, I'd go for Mineski in this game 2.
Chisto.
Ako lilipat na rin ako sa side ng Mineski. Looking at game 1, yung result nun, how fast it ended, and considering yung pick and ban, I'm gonna have to go with Mineski for game 2.
Manjin, sasakay ka na bin ng hype train.
Mineski.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pass it to Asarai and Riku to bring down the action. Take it away, guys.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Oh, it's back.
It's back indeed. Anyways, guys, we're back. My name is Asteroid. Of course, here with me now is Riku. And well, Ark did say it. Quick fire question. What is your predictions in just terms of the composition here? Mineski or Arkangels for game number 2?
That's a tough one. I mean, for me, I'd say Arkangel, mainly because I believe in Ivalice, I guess, or the bot lane as well, Rox and Zensho with that Zilean. So we'll have to see, because there's a lot of things, just as the desk mentioned, it's so hard to try and ban certain things, because I feel like Mineski has a really wide champion pool. But let's see how their level 1 goes.
Speaking of level 1s, here's an invade coming in from Arkangels. Out of the wazoo, forces the flash. There's the ignite, one more smack, and it's going to be the first blood for the Camille. Great start for Arkangels as they even deny this red buff start from Mineski. And that's where, you know, you kind of start to shine with this Xin Zhao. He is, let's say, the level 3 jungle king compared to Nocturne, who is the level 6 jungle king.
I feel like that was a little bit lenient for Mineski and well played for Arkangel, knowing the fact that the level 1 of Arkangel is pretty good.
It's not even going to stop right now. Arkangel's going to go just straight for it. And Kaigu is the next recipient of that initiation. 2-0. The 2-minute mark. That is a really good start for Arkangel.
Yeah, it's just gonna really ruin the rhythm of Mineski here. Really great start for Arkangel. I believe this is one of the few things, or one of the few things that you could do to shut down Mineski, because one of the games that Mineski actually lost was due to really strong early game, whereas Mineski couldn't get back anymore. And Zensho is just gonna pop like a pimple.
Ew. But yeah, legit. Although June there was spotted out by the ward, and he's going to try to do his best here. He does have a flash. He's trying to get into the embracing arms of Gary, and Gary gets that root just to stop this chase down onto June. But this is basically dwarfing right now June's pathing as well as, well, his progression in terms of a jungler. Now there's going to be initiation 2 versus 2 in the bottom lane.
Oh, we'll have to see as the Graga Sama is actually being taunted. He's walking away out of danger. Let's see if he can escape. He does have some booze to get his HP back up. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Ibuhos na ang inumin. Yeah. Just something I kind of want to just point out. Just gotta remember, guys, that Kled mid has been seen a lot in the Korea region. If obviously we all know Faker, he actually uses this on solo queue in certain matches, and he's been very successful with it. And I feel like it's a really good matchup to most mid lane picks that aren't mages, especially if you're gonna go maybe like an Aatrox mid or a Galio mid. It's really good because Kled, even though he's a melee champion, he has a lot of keep you at range type of skills, especially with that bear claw on a rope.
Exactly.
Did I say that right?
Bear claw on a trap?
Bear trap on a rope. Bear claw is, I believe, a certain type of pastry. But anyways.
Anyway, yeah, I have to agree with you there, because he's really good against, you know, picks in the mid lane that are very weak early game. And plus you have a Galio in the mid lane. There's most likely 0 kill pressure there, so that's a really good pick, especially level 6. It really coincides or meshes well with June's paranoia. He could either go top, go mid with a charge, but let's see.
Oh man, I feel like June's gonna be here a sad boy, because he has not gotten any type of good farm at all. Nixta is on a rampage here, and this is, I believe, what the analyst desk was actually talking about a while ago. Why not give Nixta more an offensive jungler rather than a responding jungler, and, you know, just kind of snowball off of that, and it's working. But bottom lane wise, Gary as well as Hama is really, you know, just giving the hurt to Zensho.
Definitely. We know how the Zilean is super duper squishy, so it's just the same mindset as fighting a Heimerdinger in the bot lane, except that you have less pressure of getting chip damage from the turrets being laid out on the field. So this time around, I feel like Zilean is an easier target for this matchup at the bottom lane. But then again, when level 6 comes, I feel like it might be a little bit problematic, because you have a ton of second life or delay factors on your side, aside from the stopwatch. So maybe this is the reason why they're going all in. They want to make sure that they try to, take advantage of how weak the pre-level 6 of Arkangel is here in the bot lane.
Something I kind of want to point out as well is that I feel like Zensho right now will be more of a supplementary carry rather than a main carry. Because if you know, we already know the skills of the Zilean. You can put bombs on your teammates and you can basically make them into a, you know, like a living bomb, right? They just, you know, charge right in and then they explode. Plus, he has a movement speed boost that he can give to his teammates, or, you know, slow down his opponents. which is really good because that's where Xin Zhao and Camille can actually really, bring this into the fight.
We'll have to see. Look at that. Arkangel all in here on James. Mission accomplished. They have eliminated the Gragas.
Sweet initiations there from Archangels, and they are really putting, the pedal to the metal here. Something that I kind of experienced myself when I use Xin Zhao is that he's really good. Again, I just gotta keep reiterating this. Level 3, you get all of your skills activated already, and he just becomes a really potent jungler who's also really good duelist. Anyways, mid lane wise, EXO is starting to have a little bit of difficulties with Trevor as he is getting his itemizations up, getting more resistances as well as HP, so he'll be able to absorb more damage. So he should look to get to that level 6 first, and then maybe use that Kled ultimate, the charge. To just look for some picks on the side lanes.
Definitely. That will happen, I guess, once June, especially June, reaches level 6, as to make sure that they can maximize it. But hold that thought, maybe he's just going to use it in the mid lane.
He don't even need it, but Nixta is here onto the fray. 2 versus 1. Can EXO actually do it? Skarl actually leaves him, and he has to back off. He does have the flash as well, so he'll be able to get away from this one. But Nixta should be able to get that kill. He won't use his flash right there. Not really sure why, but that'll be a kill to the jungler of Archangels. 2-0-2 for Nixta. He is 100% kill participation in this early game.
Good job here by Nixta. Ganking or staying in... The timing is almost precise in every time that Mineski tries to do something. He's at the right place at the right time. Moreover though, Kaigu, super low. This duel might not end well for Kaigu if he tried to pursue it. But going back though, I feel like the vision for Arkangel is definitely better than game number 1. They have the necessary information whether or not it's right to go aggressive and as well as to go all in. Most of their ganks have been successful and they've managed to reap what they've sowed. But the problem is siguro is what do you call this? Actually, there's no problem at the moment
for Archangels.
Yeah.
For me, in terms of problems, Mineski actually has one wherein they're kind of more of that level 6 comp, and Archangels knows this, and all they have to do is just kind of force Mineski into a corner before level 6 happens, and they are doing that spectacularly right now, and it's not looking too good for Mineski for the meantime. But I mean, look at the gold department, 12,800 to 12,600. Those kills that have come down from Archangels have been spilling in possibly the mid and the top, but bottom lane wise, it has been a show for Gary here. He is 69 CS to the 39 of Zensho, and that is a huge indicator that, this Swain is obviously uncontested, unhindered, and he will just become unchallenged later on.
Yeah, definitely one of the key players dito from Mineski is Gary. We've seen him play it so well during game number 1 dito on the Mordekaiser, but now he's on the Swain this time around. So a lot of parang kill potential na spread out na rin sa lahat ng members ng Mineski. Renekton definitely one of those early game champions na pwedeng maging threat during skirmishes and team fights. Obviously, they're still trying to take a chill pill and waiting for that paranoia. Kasi the thing is, dito sa paranoia, it's so difficult when Nocturne or June just tries to decide to go for bot lane.
They're engaging upon it, but just a little bit more control, pushing out EXO there. He was a little bit overextended, so that makes sense that, Nixta will gravitate towards that. But now June is looking for a little bit of the picks, maybe even just a little bit of control here on the riverside, especially at that dragon area as they are setting it up. 4 people of Mineski are gravitating towards this particular entrance here. As for the TPs on the top, no for Kaigu, no for Ibalis, so this is going to be a 4 versus 4 if ever, XSN maybe uses his charge right there to make something happen in the bottom side.
Exactly. So many, what do you call this, roaming potential from Archangel side, just in case that they decide, Mineski tries to go for it. But Rocks will not be able to get that flash shadows on, but they'll keep going.
All right, they keep going indeed. Galio goes in with the ultimate. There is the stopwatch into the backline. You don't want to actually go for it and pop the Zillion too early because he'll just able to revive himself. Here's a charge from X, the damage is going to be real. The poppage! Oh, the Swain, like I said, unchallenged, and he goes in. Nobody dies except for Rock. They skedoodle away from the fight, and now with this wave, they can actually go and charge right in. Does he have the flash to go ballsy into the mid or back of this turret? Looks like that's going to be a no, but that was a great fight for Mineski. The Swain show. Be real. Bird is the word.
Bird is the word, Asarai. But Camille was actually soloing the dragon. I'm not sure if she was soloing the dragon or nakatambay lang muna siya just to see if meron pa siyang opportunity to maximize Ivalice walking down from top to bottom, and that was sort of, I guess, misplay or siguro akala nila kaya pa nila i-prolong yung fight yung Arkangel pero marami ng losses, so I guess it was best to just back away and respect the damage coming from Mineski. Because of that, Kaigu had a little bit of solo time at the top side of the map, but looks like he just wants the turret.
He just wants the turret. He'll have to maybe forfeit his life for this one. Dominus was activated, but in the presence of a Xin Zhao and a Camille, at this point, it's not really going to be too much for him, but at least he does secure the first turret of the game for his team. So that's going to be, you know, really nice for them. They'll be able to maybe even put the Swain maybe on top side and start him to get some XP on there. I don't know. We just have to see. There's a lot of pings on the Rift Herald, as it seems like Arkangel is starting to kind of get more vision around that particular objective.
We'll see. Swain soloing muna as James decides to roam. Siguro because of the pings of the potential Rift Herald take, maybe a fight will break out at any moment. But, you know, I think it's just clearing of vision will be priority muna. They can just be patient and wait for that mamaya. It's still too early. 12 minutes into the game pa lang naman. But as you can see, James is doing warding duties, and he's doing a good job. Rocks as well, spotting out. And I'm pretty sure he has a feeling, alright, so I'm sure they're going to clear that ward, those deep wards in the jungle later on. Pero just as I said, just I want to bring up kanina, was I thought the process of the fight would go paranoia, and then saka na si Trevor mag-engage, mag-save the day. But I guess it went the other way around, whereas they're the ones that started the fight. I guess it's maximized because Shen ultimate and as well as the Galio ultimate, if you have Paranoia, it might be a little bit too difficult to actually save your targets kasi nga, it's madilim ang mapa.
Yeah, as well as, you know, they can just wait after the ultimates have been used. It's such big cooldowns that, you know, when you bait it out, you basically kind of force your opponent to think twice. Anyways, speaking of thinking twice, there was that Rift Scuttler that was potting out Nixta, so I wasn't sure why he actually wanted to be in that particular area. There is going to be used on the explosive cast. Gets a little bit of control, but that is a Shen. He can absorb quite a bit of damage there. Gary is now very low in HP. Does he have the flash to get away from this one? It looks like that's going to be a no. Activates the ultimate, has a lot of sustain here, and he is actually absorbing quite a bit of damage. But of course, Camille with the shutdown. Here comes the Galio, spin, or rather punch to win, knock him up, go in with the whirlwind, and he gets a double kill for Arkangel. This could transition into a bottom lane. Kaigu used his TP as well, but could not join in onto the fight because it was just a little bit too messy there for Mineski. Great job for Arkangel.
This is perfect. All they have to do, Arkangel, is to pull the trigger first. That is 2 members on their turret. 5 right now.
Juke trying to run away here. He is just doing his best to, you know, get away from this fight. Activates the ultimate right there. This is going to be a 4 versus 5. Kaigu with the AoE has to back away with the dominance, but the damage is going to be real. The activation of the ultimates here means that Archangels have no more to actually use with this one. But EXO, 4 versus 1, he can't really do it. They try to go for the chase, they try to go for the kills, but it's really not going to happen. Archangel, from what looks like to be a bit messy fight, seems to have gone to better for them. Slows down onto Gary. They're looking for the chase. James right there into the bottom lane. Gary, 4 versus 1. Can he do it? Bird is the word. No ultimate for him. And Mineski are trickling. What is happening? Trevor gets a killing spree, and James just has to back away. That was... I
am... That's a big question mark. You saw that there's still 4 more people alive and quite healthy, not even 1/4 HP. Gary wanted the kill, and probably James was around the corner, but he was quite smart to actually do a follow-up if he wanted to land maybe a body slam to 4 people, but I'm pretty sure that Arkangel will see that from far away, and it was a pretty much of a long shot of a decision. But as you can see, Mineski, super greedy. They could have stopped from that tower dive. Kled didn't have to go in anymore. I mean, obviously the damage was there. Obviously, you can tell that Kaigu did his micro skills, but then there are a couple of things that missed. EXO wasn't able to land that skill shot just to connect to Ivalice, and then it just fell apart. You don't have your Scarl, then you're game over. And everybody's pretty much in your face. And I guess it's one of those things where it was a small mistake, and then it just trickled over one by one from Mineski.
I mean, it looked... yeah, they felt super confident about that one. At least, even though it's an 11-4, the gold is still the same, but mean, that was just really well executed for Arkangels. They know the limits of their own comp, and even though there was a good chunk of damage that comes out from Mineski there, from the Colette as well as the Renekton. Ooh.
We'll have to see. That's the paranoia already being used. James going around the corner, but Rox is here to save the day. We'll have to see if they're just going to be aiming for that turret and just scare that Zilean away. Ivil is super low at this point, but I guess there's not much of a threat at the moment. I did say before the game started where I fear this Camille. Camille just really good at isolating targets and as well as humongous damage, and if you have the assistance of so much protection, imagine that second life from Zensho and as well as a lot of CCs being contributed to let that Camille work. It's just so difficult, and as well as Nixta for the assistance, additional damage rather. But Sneaky Dragon, no, what do you call this? No vision there.
Yeah.
But that's totally fine because Rift Herald is actually being taken at this moment. I guess they are aware that was happening, so it was a good exchange. Let's see how they will maximize the Rift Herald later on.
Yeah, I can definitely just maybe point that on top side or maybe even mid just to get that extra pop. Get that, get those towers for themselves, because Arkangels, if you look at it, no towers yet for them, as Mineski have already climbed up to 2. Maybe this 12-4 kill scoreline, even though it should look like Arkangels should get the goal advantage, like I keep saying.
Yes.
Because of the towers that Mineski have gotten, because they got the first blood on towers as well, they get at least the mitigation of that. They're not still super behind, and huge agreement there on the Camille. Camille, I feel, is like possibly the best dual or bruiser top laner right now, because she has a shield that absorbs physical damage. So if you go against an AD matchup, you can just basically kind of outscale them because you have a poke as well as a slow on her as well.
We'll have to see. Zensho might get caught out here.
Ooh.
Good stun, but Exosin just blocks.
Boom!
But here we go as the hero's entrance being activated. Trevor taunts 2 people, but in the meantime, Paranoia actually being used as well. So many fights here and there. Kaigu just decides to escape the Camille, but we'll see what are their primary targets as Gary is half HP. Trevor zoning him out, and meanwhile, Ivalice actually eliminates the Gragas, and things fall apart for Mineski one by one. Exo solo, there's no Scar, he has additional HP. Can they turn this around? Kaigu, good stun there under the tower, and it's going to be a 2 for 1 exchange in favor of Mineski.
I mean, the Camille got the Trinity Force, she got the burst damage, guys, but like, respect the turret. I know that they had the Galio taunt there, they line up perfectly well, but this isn't a composition that gets a real good damage output in terms of lineup, especially maybe if they just got the Zilean bombs, but aside from that, it's very much punishable by Mineski, especially if the Swain is still alive. He just kind of counter pop. He wasn't really taunted in by the Galio, so he could just like stack up the damage and then boom. And that's what happened. They did not expect that to kind of be the case, and it was.
It was super messy. Let's see if this can get cancelled, but he's gonna be fine. Shadow dash out of danger. But one thing's for sure though, that was a messy fight.
Yeah,
everybody
definitely
had different targets with the intention of just zoning key players just so that they could not contribute to damage. And this is, I'm talking about Arkangel. The problem was they were a little bit too greedy, knowing the fact that there's so many CCs that could punish a tower dive. Never moved, you got body slam, you've got slice and dice from that Renekton. But looks like they have the Rift Herald, and that's the reason why they're very confident in taking this turret down. And it looks like they'll succeed. One of the few things to take from the Mineski composition is their wave clear. They do have James, but at the same time, all of them are mostly short range, so they will risk getting Dovapon.
Speaking of Dovapon, activates the ultimate there by the Camille, 1 versus 1 on the June. June is in a very tight situation, but having that versatility from the explosive gas actually gives them a little bit of time. But now they set their sights onto Gary and they find their mark. Exosin was a little bit too far away from the situation there. Nightmare activated here by June, goes in from behind, but the timing there from Zensho was perfect, although it gave enough time here for Exo to actually go into the backline. Now Nixta is actually flanking here, piercing through, or rather sandwiching the members of Mineski. Zensho trying to run away, Trevor is in the middle of the fight, and he cannot get the win. Exosin is going ham, gets the shutdown. Now Zensho is trying to escape James. He's going for the chase, he got the dash, and he even got the Q for that slowdown, and he is looking for it. Oh, you know he wants to. Zensho, though, does have that MS boost movement speed to be able to get away from the fight. But you know what? Gary, ooh, It's not gonna work, but still, there is a huge chunk of wave here to the top, so they can at least transition into maybe a turret as well. And bottom lane, oh no, mid was taken.
Props to James there on the Gragas for isolating Nixta, not able to try and burst down a certain target and join the fight. But it's not over, Ash, right?
It's not over indeed, Gary. Can you actually survive this? That's 4. 3 people of Arkangel going in for the chase. There's Zencho onto the top side, and Gary is in no man's land. Can he be able to do it? It's gonna be a no. But at the opposite side of the spectrum, bottom lane, it's gonna be extra to take a bottom tier 2. For just that 1 kill, I think it is definitely worth.
The huge question is always, is it worth it? Or are we gonna proceed to Baron, knowing the fact that our bot lane is shoved so much, and knowing the fact that the death timers, I guess Gary doesn't have teleport, he will have to walk to Baron, but then 4 members are still practically alive for Mineski. They have the capability to chunk down people and punish, but we'll have to see. Maybe they'll find an opening.
Oh, respect my authority, but here comes the hero, the Galio. Camille again locks down onto James. They zone in, they hone in onto this particular hero and take him down. Now the center side's onto Kaigo, chasing him down 5 versus 1. Can the dominance be enough? It's not gonna be. And Arkangels is just, you know, left and right in terms of the punches, and Arkangels is ready for the fight. They are low in HP, but they are a 5-man squad, so Baron is not far from their sights.
Okay, 1 member down, too risky to take Baron. 2 members down, maybe this will work. But you know what?
Though.
Mineski though, yes, exactly. They're half HP. They can just rinse and repeat. No, Shadow Dash, not enough to taunt Gary, and that'll be an unstoppable EXO.
Oh my god, the balls on this man. Can he actually go any deeper into the fight? Now Swain is going to be the 1-man standing here. Nocturne has gone down. 2 versus 1. Camille is here to the fight, but Swain, the sustain, can he go for it? No! Ivalice gets the kill. Kaigo is right here, but they deny the Baron. Get out of here, Arkangels. But Mineski is on tight quarters right there. They had to give deaths rather just to stop the Baron.
I think that's pretty worth. You do not want to face a Baron-empowered Arkangel. They're doing so well in terms of taking picks, choosing fights, except for the fact that, you know, as you continue to dive into the jungle towards the base of Mineski, it's so much easier for people without teleports to actually join the fight and punish you if you go too deep. They had good intentions. At least, you know, Mineski managed to stop the Baron, take and as well as get a few kills onto Gary's side. Just money in their pockets, just build up their itemizations. But you know what? Maybe Earth Drake is one of the key targets, or rather other options in terms of objective that is more safe to take rather than get the Baron, which will chip down their HP and just have more risk rather than rewards.
Yeah, don't go for the thing that might, you know, kill you. The Baron dance is something that has gone for maybe a decade of League of Legends, and it has been the bane of some teams here. So why not just go for the second best thing, the Dragon? But now they actually go into the pit. This is not looking good. The Nightmare activated right there. He actually dives right in. But the hero damage from Camille is just too damn good. And they are in the middle of the fight, and they're getting chipped down. The cleave is so freaking real. Oh my goodness, this could be the ace. And then straight into the mid. No, they ping for the Baron. But that is a beautiful execution for Arkangels. Definitely want to see a replay on that one. That was a super messy fight.
The thing is, if you go in as a Nocturne, all in, and you just, if the communication's right, all you have to do is focus that Nocturne, you wouldn't be able to just, what do you call this, burst down a certain target. Second thing, you've got already the stopwatch being a headache for burst damage type of champions. Then you have the Zilean ultimate to make it even, you know, I tried my best to eliminate you, you have another life, a second life, and that's one of the key things that make teamfight work for Arkangel.
Yeah.
They get rewarded, they get a Baron, they get map pressure, they get tons of turrets in this game. But 26 to 15 just means that this game is a bloodshed.
Bloodshed, but what still kind of baffles me is that gold-wise, it's not really there. It's more of like, it's more of like the difficulty right now for Mineski is that even though they have AoE, they're kind of focused, they have damage that is also single target, and they're relying on that single target damage to kind of give them the advantage. Swain is great, but he is not that burst mage that they want to. He's more of a sustained mage that can sort of, you know, quote-unquote live longer on the fights in this particular match, but still, they're looking for that instant execution. But like you said, because there's a Zilean, because there's a Shen, and even the Galio, for goodness sake, it's just hella freaking difficult to kind of pins her down, this Camille, or maybe even the Zinzao.
Exactly. You've got a couple of, yeah, you got 2 Zonias right there. You've got a lot of protection, shields, Camille, good duelists, and you've got tons of vision on that riverside fed by the dragon. So I'm guessing their top priority, of course, are the outer turrets first, and then slowly magmo-move na sila sa ibang, sa outer, inner turrets rather. But we'll have to see kung anong technique ng Mineski dito, because na-figure out na ng Arkangel kung anong technique. Kailangan lang nilang unahan ang Mineski dito, just so that kahit na mag-paranoia or mag-ult si Nocturne, it's gonna be too late because the rest of the members of Arkangel is together na. That's the good thing about Nocturne. You isolate the target, but what if everybody's there? You're just gonna get dove upon, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can use the darkness for your utility-wise. At least you're kind of blinding your opponents there, but there's just very tanky to kind of deal with here. But they're gonna have to go for it right now. They actually execute. Nice use on the explosive cast. Charge him by the Galio. There's the shield. Nixa gets in on the rampage, and Kaigo is down for the count. Now they're gonna try to go into the back of the fight, but it's still not really gonna be enough. Nobody has gone down yet for Arkangel's side, but hold that thought. Camille is down. This is the man that has put a lot of power here for Arkangels, and he is actually in the prime of his life.
Oh!
Wait, how did he actually get into the back line? Wait, what?
He was just right there.
You know what? He has the secret agent skin, so it makes sense. He was able to kind of James Bond his way into the base of...
There's a spy in our base, guys.
In the base of Mineski, but still, I mean, that's one of their probably, you know, best scenario cases, but still the power is in the hands of Arkangel here.
Yeah, one of the risky things that Arkangel did, I guess they were a little bit confident in terms of their dive. I actually thought Arkangel was about to win that, but I guess a few of their members, or most of Arkangel's members, dove in too deep. Zillion got isolated. Again, one of the things that you could do against a Nocturne is just, once he dives in, everybody just jumps on towards that Nocturne, and then he's just gonna burst. He's just gonna explode as he's too squishy.
Yeah.
But the problem is there were only 2 members focusing. Him and the rest of the members had to walk towards the back line just to do the protective measures. But a lot of members from Mineski as well are doing their job right.
Oh!
Delaying them.
What are you doing there, EXO? Out of nowhere, does he have the flash to get over the wall? Looks like it's gonna be a no. 2 versus 1. This is not looking good. He does have the extra shield. He is a little bit tanky here, ladies and gentlemen. Could even get the kill onto Rocks.
Whoa.
At least he gets the support. But no! He's still alive! How is he doing this, EXO? There's the explosive gas. Hammers gets the save for at least a little bit, but that is mid for support. And I mean, he gets the kill, but that was not supposed to happen at all for EXO.
Just imagine if the cask landed a little bit nearer to him. It would have not exploded Galio towards EXO, instead further away from EXO.
Yeah.
But anyway, good attempt from Mineski. Good job from Arkangel as well. Not hesitating to pull the trigger. You know, we saw EXO. Let's try to eliminate him. One of the key factors here from Mineski. But the thing is, their composition was supposed to be a, you know, we'll dominate you early, but it went the other way around. Arkangel has the map control. Again, if we flash back, one of the games that Mineski lost was against TNC, and it was this sort of situation where they had to play from behind, and it didn't work out in their favor.
And now, the push is going to be real here for Arkangels. The biggest thing right now that Arkangels, why Arkangels is actually a bit more confident is that I feel like the reasons why Mineski are hanging on by a thread here, or are still hanging, is because James is just phenomenal with how he throws or positions his explosive cast. This has allowed at least Mineski to kind of split apart the team fight and, you know, focus more on some of the members of Arkangels and kind of, you know, give them some space to work with, some breathing area. And because it was kind of forced right there to kind of save EXO, it wasn't available for them, and they could have maybe forced the mid. But now that EXO is back into the fight, they kind of respect that and maybe go for a Baron in about 2 minutes.
We'll have to see, as the next dragon is actually already spawned. So dito naman sila magpo-focus. I feel like Mineski would just try to pick up the pieces, pick up the crumbs, just so that they could farm more, catch up with the damage. I mean, we did say that one of the best signs of a good team is how they can play from behind and equalize the goal despite having, you know, having map pressure, having less resources to feed off from. So right now, lanes lang muna fino-focus nila. Ngayon, sobrang risky nila if they wanna go for those jungle camps kasi parang, especially pag near the Baron, near the Raptors, dyan sila Arkangel for sure magpo-focus because Baron would be the next target in the next minute. So we'll have to see how Mineski will play this out because the last time we saw a Baron dance where they all funneled their resources dito, ang problema, Arkangel kept catching them off guard and it might be replicated here. We'll have to see. Mineski has to make a pick first, catch someone out of position, and then patuloy na sila pwedeng mag all in.
Yeah, to supplement that, I feel like if they don't get an immediate catch-up, it's fine, as long as they force the Zillion ultimate. If they can force the Zillion ultimate prematurely from Arkangel's here, that's going to be a huge boost for them because you know how we were talking about game number 1, Mineski can go for like a 6 versus 5, 7 versus 5 because they have the Mordekaiser, right? This is kind of the same kind of deal wherein you're going to be killing someone twice. Exactly. Okay. To be able to do something like that. And at least to force Zensho onto a perspective where he uses his ultimate to save his teammate and then Mineski resets the fight. This is going to be something that they will be trying to look forward to. But do they have the burst damage to actually, you know, get someone to do just that?
Exactly. This is the part where death rushes are important. Because I know a lot of the teams are really not really baited, but vision is such a priority when Baron has spawned. And that would mean, aside from putting wards, you also want to de-ward. So that's one of the key things that would probably try to enable them to get a pick is when you catch someone trying to put vision in the map or de-ward a certain area. But because of lanes are shoved in favor of Arkangel, Mineski isn't actually, doesn't have that room to stay in a certain area and wait for the opportunity. So Camille adding pressure din dito sa bot side of the map. Again, 29-19. I rarely see these games na ganito. Sobrang taas ng kill score in our game today. So sobrang, you can see that they're out for blood and you know, they're farming champions.
Look at the itemizations for both Nixta and Ivalice.
Guardian Angel.
Almost the same. Like Trinity Force, Guardian Angels, and you know, just the difference from the Sterax and that Hydralisk. But still, this is some pretty solid damage output for them. Both of them, like you said, have Guardian Angels here, so you're basically gonna have to kill them twice or even thrice because of the Zillion ultimate as well. It's gonna be a it's going to be very hard pressed here for Mineski to kind of find that. But if they can get the steal, you know, be a little bit of the sneaky beakies, maybe that's going to be something, you know, that can bring them back. But it's very situational. They have to still find an opening in the team fights.
Yeah, because of Camille's pressure dito sa bot lane, Ivalice, let's see if they can make a pick. Rocks there almost get picked off, but that's a charge. They're going in.
They're really going in for this one, and they find the Camille in the middle of the fight. EXO is going to be in the middle of 3 members of Arkangels there, and now the darkness has been activated. They are zoning this out perfectly, and they are surviving. Gary is still healthy onto this one. There's going to be the resurrection for the Camille, but can she really do it? Obliterated. Is this Rocks, and how is this happening? How did they get 3 kills and deny the Guardian Angel? Mineski have found the linchpin, the Achilles heel of this composition from Arkangels.
That was isolation. Instead of focusing all their power in one target, they noticed that if they try to spread out the fight, 2 to 3 people, 2 to 3 squads, and Nocturne basically eliminated Zensho first. He used it all on himself, popped out 2 Guardian Angels already. So that is a job well done from Mineski. They were patient, they farmed up a little bit, tried to put more items in their inventory, and then because of their mindset of, hey, I think we're ready to go in. Camille might be a little bit too aggressive this time, knowing the fact that Arkangel has already built up their confidence from the first few minutes of the game on towards our 20 or 30-minute mark. Na kaya-kaya natin sila 5v5, but because of, you know, the scaling as well, the sustain as well, if you pop their Guardian Angel, they popped it twice, right? Gary, Camille, Ivalice, and as well as the Zillion, Zensho, were out of the fight. So that means they could pour in damage from the rest of the members, and then once they revive, they can focus back on the newly revived members. So pretty, very, very smart from Mineski. They know who their priorities are and what they need to do.
Yeah, and speaking of what they need to do, like EXO just knew that in terms of his items, look at that, so much stacking on HP. 3 of his items have HP. Black Cleaver, Sterak's Gauge, and the Titanic Hydra? Titanic Hydra. Yeah, so that basically just gives him so much survivability there. I thought he was going to get blown up, but he survived for such a long time that he occupied 3 members of Archangels in that fight. And like you said, they were able to split apart that fight because of how EXO was able to kind of get the attention of these prime targets from Archangels. They split the fight and they kind of now reset the control of this game.
Exactly. Kasi nakita nila dun sa bottom lane dive, it worked out sa favor nila. Looks like they're gonna get a taunt on
Carry! Oh, he activates the ultimate right there, but they split up once again from the ultimate of James, but they are pincering him down. Can he survive? Camille goes in. Here comes Clay from the backline, and he actually goes with behind the scenes. Now EXO is on a rampage. They don't... Well, it's fine to get Gary, but you also gotta take into account this Kled, who has such crazy damage with that Violet tendencies. That's gonna be a 3-for-4 exchange. They can even go for the mid right now, as they still have the Baron buff, and Zensho cannot clear this up. You know what? EXO's not done. He wants the ace. Go for the chase on EXO. You deserve it. And he is going in with the Bear Claw, or the Bear Trap on a rope. Gets the ace, and that's gonna be Mineski coming back. Mid-tier 2 is down, and June does have the damage. He is the Nocturne, and they're looking for simultaneous inhibitors on mid and bot.
Look at that confidence from EXO. That's how he's out for blood, and he knows that when he gets that Zillion, no wave clear, and therefore they can immediately take 2 objectives, just as you said, dito sa base.
Oh.
And all they have to do now, look, the tables have turned this time, and it's Archangel's job now to try and get the pressure out for themselves. Let's see if this is gonna work.
June trying to run away. Very... Okay, he's gonna...
Oh!
He has the shield, so even though if it was in range of the taunt, it still would not have been enough. This is just Archangels looking for that really juicy engagement. But speaking of which, he bit up a bit more than he can chew. Stay out of the fight, Rocks. We don't need you. Get out of here. But now, every single member from Archangels has joined into the fight, and this is hella freaking messy. June is right here. Camille, though, into the bottom side. No ultimate from Zensho, and he gets blown up. Archangels right now is in no man's land, and they are not looking too good at all. Axelson with the charge from base down into the fight here in the bottom lane, and Archangels are trickling. This is not looking good, and Gary is already in front of these Nexus turrets, but I don't know if Asway can actually do that. You know what? They don't care. They want that ace once again. Zensho, June has his ultimate once again. He's actually already reset 1 versus 1. Mano e mano, and June's Nocturne comes in victorious, or comes out victorious from that fight. What just happened from what looks like to have been Archangel's Mineski brought it back?
Archangel just wanted to punish the overstaying of the Nocturne, and there you go! 2-0, Mineski! What a comeback! That was amazing to watch.
This is the team that dominated Rift rivals.
Yeah.
And they are showing that same type of dominance even from behind you know, their opponents, Archangels. Although, you gotta give it, Archangels were also really good with their rotations.
Yeah, they did so well during the early phases of the game, and they took advantage of their lead, except for the fact that maybe they couldn't finish in time, and therefore, I guess, they had to suffer the consequences. And good adjustments on the itemization as well from Mineski. They wanted to last as long, and therefore, you know, the Zillion bombs and the Camille and Xin Zhao damage weren't enough to actually pop out a Nocturne anymore when everybody practically tries to dive in. You saw how tanky EXO is, even though everybody was just clumped up all together. Even though that Archangel had that AoE magic damage, they properly built around it and they survived the fight.
Yeah, I mean, my head is just spinning from what happened there. It looked like Archangels could have actually finished the fight.